Hi students, welcome to class. This is the first lesson in a detective series. It's a 10-part lesson. This previous hour, I just taught a class on the introduction to this series. If you're just joining in now, that's quite all right. If you missed the first one, you can still join this class. Oh, looks like we have a returning student. Hi, Paolo.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Fine.
Nice to have you again. So just to give you a little summary, a little recap of what's happened, or an introduction to this series, we learned about the Hummingbird family. They are the main characters of this series. And Cynthia Hummingbird's granddaughter, Emma, is about to be wed. She's about to get married. But there is only one problem. The wedding ring has been stolen. And this ruby ring is a family treasure. It's been passed down from generation to generation. And Detective Bossley, who is a detective that Cynthia has hired, he will be conducting the investigation. He will question all of the residents of Hummingbird Manor. And Cynthia has required that he films these investigations. And why would she do this? He's the detective. It's curious. And the first suspect is Ralph Hummingbird. So just to let you students know, if you can't add the class quite yet, just wait a few minutes. The first few minutes are reserved for Verbling Premium account users. And those are students who have upgraded their normal accounts to Premium, which allows them to make reservations, an unlimited amount of reservations within the first few minutes of class. It's $25 a month, and it guarantees you a spot. So if you're really looking forward to a certain class or a certain teacher, you can get in on the first couple minutes. You kind of get to cut the line. You get to go ahead of everyone else. It's really awesome, and I will give you a link if you want to try out the service. If you don't want to commit to paying the money yet, if you just want to do a little trial, I'll give you the link in the Verbling chat and the Facebook chat. If you click that link, there are several ways in which you can get free reservations. So I suggest that you try it out. Definitely click it and look into it if it's something you're interested in. Also, Verbling just launched Spanish classes. I don't know if all students out there are familiar with that feature yet, but we have a new crew of Spanish teachers that are teaching really wonderful classes. So if you're interested in learning Spanish as well as English, Verbling has that. So you can also check that out. All right, so some more students are adding. Let's go around and introduce ourselves and say what country we're from. So my name is Kendra. I've been teaching with Verbling since January of this year. I love it. It's really cool to connect with people from all over the world and teach them English. And I'm teaching you from San Francisco, California. So let's start with Ahmad. Hi, Ahmad. Ahmad, can you hear me? Ahmad, your microphone might be on mute because we cannot hear you. Okay, let's move on to the next student, Alejandro.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing so great.
Oh, excellent.
I am from Madrid, from Spain.
Very cool. There's many Spanish students on Verbling from
Yes,
Spain.
we need to learn your language.
All right, and let's move on to Max. Hi, Max.
Hello, how are you?
Good, it's nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Could you tell the class what country you're from?
I'm from Turkey, as I stated before, and I'm working as a security in a big company.
Cool.
All
Thanks.
this for now.
Good to have you again. Okay, and then we have Paolo. Paolo was in my previous class, which was the introduction to this 10-part series. Paolo, could you tell the class where you're from?
Okay, I'm from Brazil. I'm from São Paulo, and I'm business administrator. So I have to learn English to improve in my area.
Oh, okay, cool, excellent. And then we have Rafael.
Hello, I'm Rafael. I'm also from Spain, and I agree with you. Berlin is one of the most popular and better place for improve and learn English and to meet people around the world. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Very nice
cool.
place.
Awesome. Well, it's good to have you again.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we have the last student, Roberto.
Yes, hi. I am Roberto from Italy. I am Roberto from Italy, and I am a financial consultant. It's the first time that I'm here, so this time I will be here just for a few minutes because I wanted just to test the lesson with you and all the set of my computers.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you can stay for as long or as little as you'd like.
Yeah, maybe I'll come back in for the next time, but it's very, very nice to be in this lesson.
Yeah, cool. And then we have 2 more students that just added. One, Douglas. Hi, Douglas.
Hello,
Hi, what country are you from?
I am from Brazil.
Brazil. Cool. Same as Paolo. Awesome. Good to have you. And then we have Jose Garcia. Hi, Jose.
Kendra, hi everybody.
Hi. Jose, could you tell the class where you're from?
Yes, I'm from Spain.
Cool. Yeah. So same as Alejandro, and who's the other one? It was it Max?
Me
No.
too, Rafael.
Or Rafael,
Me too.
yes. Cool. Many Spanish students. And then let's go back to Ahmad. His microphone wasn't working earlier. Ahmad, can you hear us?
I'm Ahmed El Younes. I'm from
There you are. Hi.
Jordan.
From Jordan. Cool. I think you're my second student from Jordan. Very cool. Okay, and then, all right, I think that's everyone so far. Excellent. So now I'm going to share with you the document that we're going to be using in class. I'll put the link in the Verbling chat and also the Google chat. You can click it and open it up on your end, and I'll also screen share it so that everyone can view it at the same time. All right, how is that? Is the font large enough?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, excellent. It looks like Paolo is the only returning student that was here for the introduction of the series, but that's okay. Just to let you guys know, the recap, the summary that just happened in the previous lesson was the introduction to this 10-part detective series. And we learned about the Hummingbird family. And Cynthia, who is one of the main characters, she is a widow, which means that her husband has already passed away. And Cynthia Hummingbird's granddaughter, Emma, is about to be wed. She's about to get married, to get hitched. But there is only one problem. The wedding ring has been stolen.
Oh.
And so this ruby ring is a family treasure. It has been passed down from generation to generation. Cynthia was first gifted this ring from her late husband. Late husband means that the husband is already dead. He passed away, which makes Cynthia a widow. And she's had this ring during her marriage, and now she is going to give it to her granddaughter, Emma, so that she can wear it. But no one can find the ring. It has been stolen. So Cynthia decides to... Whoa, hello? Cynthia decides to hire Detective Bossley, who is one of the best detectives out there. And he will be conducting an investigation to find out who stole the ring and where it is. He's going to question all of the residents of Hummingbird Manor, some of which include family members. So there's a few family members. There's the characters Ralph, Leela, there's Emma, there's Oliver. There's a few different characters that he is going to be interviewing. And in this manner, they also have hired help, like a gardener and a chef. So he's going to be questioning everyone. And each lesson will be a dialogue between Detective Bossley and one of the suspects. So Cynthia plans on filming all of these investigations. Why would she do this? You be the detective. The first suspect is Ralph Hummingbird. Okay, so are there any questions about what this series is going to be about or what's going to happen in this lesson? No questions? Okay, so let's move on to the pre-reading vocabulary. What I like to do for each lesson is introduce some new words here on the left, and then I provide the definitions on the right-hand side. And I like it when students have the opportunity to practice and speak as many times as possible. So let's start with the first student, Ahmad. Could you please read aloud this for us?
Yes.
Reruns.
Television episodes from past, also called repeats.
Good. So if there's a rerun on television, that means that it's already been aired before, but they're playing it again. So it's a repeat. It's a rerun. Good. Let's go to Alejandro. Could you please read aloud the next portion for us? Oh, I think he might have left. Let's go on to Douglas.
To get down to business. To focus on the important matter.
Mm-hmm. So to get down to business does not always necessarily mean business itself. Like you don't have to be at work or at a job. But for instance, someone could say, okay, let's get down to business. I'm going to start this lesson now. Here are the links. Click these links and we'll start. Or if you're baking a cake, and you say, all right, let's get down to business. Let's go to the grocery store. Let's get the eggs. Let's get the sugar. Let's get the flour. Let's get down to business and do this. So it can refer to non-business related items. Okay, let's move on to the next student. Max, please.
Yeah, here I am.
Could you read aloud the portion that's highlighted on the screen?
Yeah, okay. To mean the world to someone. To be very...
Good. So if you mean the world to someone, you're the most important thing in their life. You really cherish them. Let's move on to Paolo. The next one, please. This is an idiom.
Born with a silver spoon in one's mouth. Rich at birth. Never had to worry about money.
Yeah. Born with a silver spoon in one's mouth. So back in the day, if you had silverware that was made from silver, that was very expensive. And so if you were born and you were fed with a little silver spoon in your mouth, that means that you were born rich from the start and that you never had to worry about money. You were always very wealthy from the very beginning, from the moment you were born. Good. All right. Rafael, the next one, please.
To mean nothing. To be unimportant.
Mm-hmm. So if something means nothing to me, that means that I don't care. It's not important. Good. Let's move on to the next student. Roberto, the next one, please.
To love of my life.
Oh, wait, this is supposed to say the love.
What's true love?
So the love of my life, that means that it's my one true love. It's my other half. It's my heart and soul. My one true love. Good. Excellent. Let's move on to the next student, which is, we have two students that just joined. One is Sinan.
I'm sorry, I have to go now, so I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. See you soon, Roberto. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, let's go on to Sinan.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, could you introduce yourself? What country are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Could you
From
please
Ankara.
read? Could you please read aloud this portion that's highlighted?
Yes, sure. Bingo. I was of thank you quest or answer currently.
Okay, so it's if you say bingo and you kind of say it with an exclamation mark at the end. It's a way of saying yes, you guessed right, or you answered correctly.
Correctly. Yes.
And that comes from the game. There's a game that's called Bingo, and when you achieve the goal in the game of Bingo, you blurt out that word, and that means I won. I got it correct. All right, let's go on to the next student that just added. Is it Tui?
Hi.
Hi. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Tui?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. What country are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Vietnam.
Vietnam. Very cool. Do you think you could please read aloud this portion that's highlighted on the screen?
Yes, okay. On the contrary, introduces an opposite example or idea.
Good. So on the contrary, that means when you introduce an opposite idea or example that the speaker is talking about. So you're disagreeing with them and you're pointing out a different point of view. Okay, let's go to Yassine. Hi, Yassine.
Hi.
Could you please introduce yourself to the class? What country are you from?
I'm Yassine. I'm from Algeria. I'm 21 years old.
Very cool. Whoops. Okay, and could you please read aloud this expression?
Empty nest. A home or feeling after the grown children have moved out.
Yeah, so more often than not, once children go off to college or university, that's when they move out of their home in the United States. It's when they move out of their home and the parents have an empty nest. So if you think about birds, there's a lot of background noise. Do you think you can shut off whatever's making that?
Me?
Yeah. Is that you? Here, Okay, there we go. That's better. So an empty nest, it refers to birds, how they make a little nest for their little birdies, but then once they grow up and fly away, then it's an empty nest. All right, let's go back to the first student, Ahmad. Could you please read the last expression for us?
Yes. To have your heart set on something. To really want something.
Good. So if you have your heart set on it, it means you really want it. You really want it to happen, or you really want to obtain it. Good. Are there any questions about the new vocabulary items that we just learned? Any questions?
No, not really.
Okay. So let's move on. This is the dialogue between the detective and Ralph. He is the first suspect. And it says, fill in the blanks with the words from the vocabulary list. So here are some blanks, and we need to insert the new words that we just learned on the left. So first, I'm going to read aloud this dialogue. You can listen to my pronunciation. And when we get to a blank, anyone and everyone can blurt out what they think is the answer, okay? So I'll start. Here's the detective. He says, sorry to interrupt your show, Ralph. Could you tell me where you were the night the ruby ring disappeared? Ralph, I was watching blank.
Reruns.
Good. I was watching reruns of your murder mystery with my mother. She can't get enough of reality TV. Detective, I'm glad you enjoyed the series. Now let's get down to blank, shall we? Good. Let's get down to business, shall we? Tell me about your relationship with your mother. Ralph, my mother means the world to me. I miss my father, though. Detective, I hear Mr. Hummingbird was a fine businessman. You were born with a silver in your mouth.
In your mouth.
Good. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, weren't you? Ralph, yes, but money means nothing to me. I care more about love. Detective, do you love your wife? Of course. Leela is the love of my
Life.
Good. She is the love of my life. I just wish she felt the same way about me. Detective, let me guess. Things changed when you had the twins. Bingo. Leela used to look at me like Paul gawks at Emma. You know the look. My mother looks at you that way. You and Paul. Detective, is that jealousy I sense? Your daughter's fiancé is a handsome man. Ralph, jealousy? Don't be ridiculous. I'm happy for Emma. She doesn't realize how lucky she is. Detective, really? Does it bother you that your mother adores Paul? On the contrary, if my mother didn't approve of Paul, Emma wouldn't be marrying him. She'd lose her inheritance and the guest house. Detective, is that right? And Emma has her heart set on those things, I assume. Actually, Emma doesn't care as much about the money as her mother does. She'd be happy living in the jungle. It's me that wants Emma to move into the guest house. The sooner Leela and I can have an empty the better.
Nest.
Good. An empty nest, the better. All right, so that was the dialogue. That was the mini interrogation between the detective and Ralph. Are there any questions so far?
Nope.
No? Okay. So let's go on to these comprehension questions. Let's start with you, Alejandro. Number 1. How does Ralph describe his relationship with Cynthia? Oh, Alejandro, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, I didn't follow the conversation, so just skip me for this moment, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
Oh, no worries. Let's go on to Douglas. Number 1. How does Ralph describe his relationship with Cynthia?
I didn't get that one, the first question.
So here, let's scroll up to the very beginning of the dialogue. So the detective asks him, "Tell me about your relationship with your mother." And how does Ralph describe it?
May I?
Yeah, Douglas?
Ralph said that her mother.
Right, yeah. The mom means everything, means the world.
Yes. He loved his mother.
Good. And then let's move on to the second comprehension question. Max, number 2. Which of the following does Ralph not care about? Does he not care about money? Does he not care about his mother? Does he not care about his daughter? Or does he not care about finding the ring?
Who is going to answer the question?
Max?
Oh,
there we go, Max.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, what was that, Max?
I think, yeah, his mother.
So here, what does he not care about?
Sorry, money.
Money. Yeah, so let's go back up in the dialogue. Ralph says, "Money means nothing to me." So that means that it's not important. He does not care about money. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next student, Paolo, number 3. According to Ralph, how does Cynthia feel about Paul?
I think that she feels like how she feels when she looks at Half.
Oh, sorry. One more time.
The question is, sorry. How does Cynthia feels about Paul? Because Paul is a hands-on and rich man, so Cynthia's.
Yeah, let's scroll up to this part.
Seeing me because he's gonna be Emma's husband. So.
Good, excellent. Let's go on to Raphael, number 4. True or false? Detective Bossley wonders if Ralph is jealous of Paul's good looks. True or false? Raphael.
Oh, sorry, my mic was mute. I think it's true because in the paragraph they say the detective says, "Is that jealous? I sense your daughter's fiancé is a handsome man," and Ralph said, "Jealously," but of course the detective is thinking that Ralph could be jealous.
Good, excellent, good. Number 5. Let's have the next student. Whoops. Sinan, number 5. What does Emma's father say about the guest house? What does Emma's father say about the guest house? Sinan?
Can I say pass?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
What was the answer, Sinan? Okay, let's move on to Tui. Number 5. What does Emma's father say about the guest house? Okay, Alejandro?
I'm very sorry, but I didn't pay attention because a conference call. Sorry for that.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, let's go on to Douglas. Number 5. What does Emma's father say about the guest house? Douglas, do you know the answer? Number 5?
I don't remember. I
Okay,
was paying attention to the pronunciation of the words. I didn't pay attention to what people were saying.
Okay, so let's. Okay, here I'm going to read aloud the dialogue again, and you can just listen to the content, everyone. Okay, so that we can answer these comprehension questions. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top. The detective. Sorry to interrupt your show, Ralph. Could you tell me where you were the night the ruby ring disappeared? So the detective is saying, excuse me, Ralph. Please tell me where you were the night that the ring was stolen. Ralph. I was watching reruns of your murder mystery with my mother. She can't get enough of reality TV. So Ralph is saying, the night that the ring was stolen, I was hanging out with my mom, and we were watching television. Detective. I'm glad you enjoyed the series. Let's get down to business, shall we? Tell me about your relationship with your mother. So the detective is trying to get some details, trying to understand what the dynamic is like between Ralph and his mother, Cynthia. Ralph. My mother means the world to me. I miss my father, though. So he's saying that his mom is very important, and he misses his father, who has passed away. His father is already dead, and he misses him a lot. Detective. I hear Mr. Hummingbird was a fine businessman. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, weren't you? So the detective is saying, your dad was a very successful man. It seems like you have a lot of money, and from the very beginning, from the instant you were born, you've never had to worry about money. You've always been taken care of. Ralph. Yes, but money means nothing to me. I care more about love. So Ralph is agreeing that yes, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. It's true. But money is not important to me. What's important is love. Detective. Do you love your wife? Ralph. He says, of course. Leela, my wife, is the love of my life. I just wish she felt the same way about me. Detective. Let me guess. Things changed when you had the twins, when you had your twin children. Ralph. Bingo. Leela, my wife, used to look at me like Paul gawks at Emma. So Paul is going to be the husband of Emma, of Ralph's daughter. You know the look. My mother looks at you that way, you and Paul. Detective. Is that jealousy I sense? Your daughter's fiancé, Paul, is a handsome man. Ralph. Don't be ridiculous. I'm happy for Emma. She does not realize how lucky she is. Really? Does it bother you that your mother adores Paul? On the contrary, if my mother did not approve of Paul, Emma, my daughter, would not be marrying him. She'd lose her inheritance and the guest house. Is that right? And Emma has her heart set on those things, I assume. Actually, Emma doesn't care as much about the money as her mother does. She'd be happy living in the jungle. it's me that wants Emma to move into the guest house. The sooner Leela and I can have an empty nest, the better. Okay, so did everyone understand the dialogue?
Just a question, what fiancé means? What does the fiancé mean?
Fiancé, so when two people are engaged, when they are about to be married, during that period before they get hitched, before they say their vows and legally get married, they are fiancés.
Okay, okay, I understand.
So, yeah, first you're boyfriend and girlfriend, and then you become engaged.
Okay. I think I understand. I understood, and I understand now the meaning. Are you there?
No, the teacher lost the connection.
Yeah, I think so.
Could you rewrite? If you want, you can rewrite that, read that again.
Are we going to